Hi everyone. Hi Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Social Cam. This is Garnett again, and this is another segment of Musical Wisdom. I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting, all the feedback and stuff. It's a real encouragement, and I'm glad that y'all checking out the videos and you're learning something. I'm gonna get to the matter at hand here. I got a message via Facebook, and it says here, I've been watching your YouTube vids and it's really been a blessing. Do you have any vids that show proper fingering placement when practicing lines or runs? Um, yes, I do have some tips in terms of practicing runs and stuff. Um, the first thing in terms of practicing runs is they're all built on scales. So if you have a general idea of like the fingerings of scales, that'll definitely help. So for example, from what I learned, as a kid, you have your hand here. Your thumb is finger one, pointing finger is number two, your middle finger is number three, your ring finger is number four, and your pinky is number five. And that applies with the left hand as well. Now, when you're playing on white keys, generally the fingering would be something like this. I'm playing a C major. It would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So that would work on C. It would work in G, D, A, E, B. Right? F will be the weird one because it has the B flat as the fourth degree. So in this case, you had to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now that's just playing through one octave. Now if you want to go 2 octaves or more, you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you put your thumb again to start that cycle, right? So, and it's the same thing applies to all the other white keys. Now when it comes to black keys, I was taught, you never ever put your thumb on a black key when you're playing scales. I guess it's more for speed's sake. So, for example, if I'm playing C sharp, I will have to start on my third finger. So it'll be 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh, I kind of messed that up there. So I can actually do 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Right? Now, in the left hand, it would be 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. And you know what? I actually forgot. Let me go back to the white keys for a second. Now, for the white keys, in terms of your left hand, it would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. That's 1 octave. Now, if you want to go more than 1 octave, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and then you go over 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, so forth and so on. And that's for all the white keys. Now, that's like the basics in terms of playing the scales, right? Now, what I also do is I do that whole 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like the fingers I would use for the white keys, I'll practice them on the black keys as well. Because sometimes, if you're not necessarily reading anything and you're kind of just improvising, sometimes you kind of get stuck in a little jam. So what I do is I practice, like I'll be in F sharp, for example, and I would use the fingering for C major. So that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go right, and it feels kind of weird at first trying out that kind of fingering, but the more you do it, the easier and the more comfortable it'll be. And I do the same thing with the left. So, right? Again, it's all for comfort, and sometimes you're gonna do a run and it's gonna leave you in an awkward position. So you want to make sure at least if you practice that, it won't, you won't be out, they're just stranded in terms of what am I gonna do now. Another thing in terms of fingering, definitely is always practicing the scale slowly. I highly suggest that because the accuracy is more important than the speed, right? Because it doesn't make sense you try and blaze through and sound sloppy. You want to make sure that when you practice your scales, that you're relaxed, right? Because any bit of tension can, can mess up your sound. It can cause, some type of pain if you persist in that kind of tension. And another thing in terms of scales is will have to be I guess just experiment, right? Now I use the major scale because that's like the easiest, but try the minor scales like something difficult, kind of like B minor. I'm actually doing B melodic minor, or I should say jazz melodic minor. I'm gonna go down the same way I came up, so it would be B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. Right? Now I'm playing it a little faster just because I've practiced it many times. So now I'm relaxed, like I'm not tense, I'm not raising my fingers high or anything like that. I'm not feeling any tension at all. So that's like the most important thing. You want to make sure that you're relaxed in what you're doing. Any type of tension, you got to stop and just kind of reevaluate what you're playing, and how you feel too when you're playing it. Another thing to practice in terms of runs is practice arpeggios. Pretty much, arpeggios are just broken chords. You just take a chord and you just play it one note at a time, right? So, for example, if I'm using a C major, use that, right? I'll just go thumb on the C, second finger on the E, third finger on the G, and fifth finger on the C, the octave higher, right? Now, you practice it in such a way where you're relaxed. I did a video on, forearm rotation that kind of helps out, instead of just, lifting your fingers and stuff. You just kind of, let gravity help you, right? Now, there are other fingers that I use as well. Like, sometimes you can use 1, 2, 4, 5. It depends on how you feel, I'm not really picky like that. So I just go with what's comfortable for me. Again, the key to getting this together is practicing it slowly. So you want to, right? And again, whatever your right hand can do, the left hand has to be able to do the same thing. So, again, I'm going to just keep saying it that you just got to practice it slowly for it to sound right. Because you don't want to sound sloppy playing fast. You want to be as nice and as clean as possible. See if is there anything else in terms of practicing runs and scales. All right, I already covered that. It has to have you have to have the basic fingering of how major and minor scales and stuff goes. Oh yes, one thing that I learned was whenever I'm playing a run, like I don't use my pinky unless I know I'm going. Unless I know that's gonna be the last note I'm gonna play. So if I'm doing a run like this, right? If I do that, I'm playing this last note with my pinky, right? So it's a G. So for me, I'm gonna say, okay, that's the last note, right? So, right? Now again, that run, I've been practicing that a long time, so this just kind of just flows out. Another thing about runs too is sometimes there are runs where, you know, they can pretty much fit underneath your hand, right? So I could probably do something like this. Right? So pretty much all the notes I want to play, they're underneath my hand. Right? Now, that's just like a C minor, run. Kind of like, I want to say C Dorian to be exact. So I'm playing like, you know, C, D, E, F, G, B flat. And what gives it away, the Dorian way, is playing the A. All right. So, you know, so just a quick recap. Make sure you practice your scales slowly. You know, both hands. You have, like, you know, the fingering for the white keys. You have the fingering for the black keys. And also, when you have the fingerings for the black keys, you can also use the fingering of the white keys on the black keys, just in case. You know, it's a good thing to have. Then when you're doing a run, you don't use your pinky unless you know that's going to be the highest note you're going to play, and then you go back down. And then, you know, sometimes when it comes to runs, you know, the notes that you want are underneath your fingers. So again, just practicing it slowly will definitely help. Again, the forearm rotation thing will always help, because again, your arm is just one mechanism, and your fingers can't handle all that weight by itself. That's what I've learned, and it's helped me a lot. I hope this has answered your question. If you have any other thoughts, or, you know, any other questions, you know, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at geephlat, geephlat, or Facebook, Garnett Walters. You know, there's going to be a picture of me playing a keyboard. You know, you can hit me up on YouTube. You just hit my inbox, or just leave a comment. Again, you know, write your thoughts, you know, your concerns or whatever, and, you know, I'll be willing to answer it, man. Again, I hope this answered your question. All right, and thanks for checking it out. Peace. Music is infinite.